I'm James Linker, sports scientist and bringer of the hilarity. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
I am the one who knocks.
And so this is the U Wot M8 series, and I could have just renamed it the Jim Stepani series. However, in this particular video, you are getting 4 for the price of 1, which potentially means 4 sets of fanboy comments, none of which will debunk science due to feelings. And so I do understand that you may never get these 10 minutes of your life back. And I understand that the first part of this video is perhaps not the most informational, but you need to understand something too. When YouTube recommends me a video and it makes my eyeballs and my brain go catabolic, there is a high possibility I'm gonna make a video like this. However, I will discuss range of motion in this video, and in relation to Jim Stepani, I am going to again talk about high intensity cardio and how you must focus on the work and not the hack. And by the hack, I mean, you can fill in the dots. And so first a new Vince emerges, followed by Jim Stepani, again dropping a video which made me scream at my phone. And here is a reenactment of how exactly that went down. Yes, that is how I scream. It's how I roll. And so the context of this video is firstly to critique some very popular social media figures who again are butchering the art form that I love, and they're projecting a very popular style of fitness content that is lapped up by millions.
You don't burn the most fat during the workout, you burn the most fat long after the workout is over.
Stop it!
And this type of content just reinforces this pseudoscience narrative of fitness and body images and lifestyle creation that for many people will create a roadblock in their fitness journey. And it's almost like you have to go through these roadblocks. You can kind of call them Mike Chang blocks, and you have to go around them, and then as you get older, you finally find the information that will help you long term. And so introducing Vince, the other Skywalker, and Dirty Dan. I was going to call him Rufio's natural brother. Which one is better, Rufio's natural brother or the other Skywalker? I think that's the real question here. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the money shot. And I know what some of you are thinking, this is kind of old news. And I know this video is a few months old. I am a little slow to the races. I'm actually a bit slower than a Brittany Dawn fitness program, but I hear this show Game of Thrones has potential. And the Millennium Bug didn't hit. Okay, that's enough. And for the commenters who believe that young people are not impressionable when they watch YouTube videos from their heroes, you are plain incorrect. People follow to the letter what their YouTube hero says or does. And this first lot of jokers are the encapsulation of everything that is wrong with some very popular fitness content. And we see this on YouTube, and we for sure see this on the Instagrammer too. I definitely do not have a face for Instagram. Now, Jim, I had no intention of making more videos on Jim. He recently dropped a video and the title was Aha Moment, Jim's Aha Moment. Now that in itself could deserved a podcast made on it. And that particular video was about BCAAs. All that was a repost of one of his earlier videos, just chopped down and reposted in a shorter format. But I left that alone. I left Jim's aha moment alone. But then James had an aha moment when I watched his most recent video on cardio acceleration. And this for me is the perfect example of where Dr. Jim is even managing to massacre good training principles. He does it with supplements effortlessly. But when it comes to training, he normally has some pretty decent information, but he's kind of gymming it right now. And this is what I mean.
Now, for years, bodybuilders have been using steady-state cardio because it puts you in the fat-burning zone.
And he starts off with the get-out-of-jail-free card, or the marketing pitch, as I like to call it. And that's comparing something to bodybuilders, a completely different population, a special population, not natural in most cases. That's also something that Dr. Sam Robbins does. That man has paper-thin knowledge. If you've not seen the Alan Roberts podcast, check it out.
You now know that your best strategy for burning the most fat is to use intense cardio so that you don't burn the most fat during the workout, you burn the most fat long after the workout is over.
Now I've made so many videos on cardio, steady state versus HIIT. They have their benefits and disadvantages. One is not generically better than the other. It's highly dependent on you, your characteristics, what suits you. The focus must be the work. But what I can absolutely destroy in his statement is this overemphasis of the post-workout calorie burn. Again, I've made a video specifically on that in my Mythbusters series. The post-workout burn is around 7 to 14% of your session. For a 500 calorie workout, which is a large HIIT session, this is what it would be. Now, in addition, EPOC, this post-calorie burn, is produced by intensity, not duration. So most likely, if you're doing a longer duration HIIT session, your intensity may drop, and therefore the EPOC would drop. And so you can't just say, well, I'll do HIIT for 40 minutes. You have to maintain that high intensity level to get to the higher ends of the EPOC range. Yes, you do burn calories post-workout with HIIT, but again, that is not significant. When you take a chronic lens, it's actually quite a small caloric number. Again, stop focusing on the hacks and focus on the work. The benefit of HIIT training is the work you do in the HIIT session, the calories you burn in the HIIT session. This statement by Jim is just peculiar and bizarre, and what makes it so ridiculous is his cardio acceleration idea is quite good. The idea that you can do something in your break between sets. Now, the example he gives, the bench press with the kettlebell swings, perhaps you may critique that, but look, he's not using a heavy weight on the bench press there. It's most likely some sort of volume training, but it doesn't have to be kettlebell swings. It can be jumping jacks or step-ups. Cardio acceleration, I think, is a good idea, but Jim is not satisfied, in my opinion, with his very poor supplement information. He's now injecting the nonsense into his training information. And so here is a popular social media figure with over 10 million subscribers. Some of you may know him as Vitaly. I know him as Vince. He makes fitness content, and he is setting up a fitness programming and consultation online coaching website.
Guess what, villains and YouTube who is interested? I'm launching Vitaly Fit. That's right, that's a program that actually Leo followed. If you want to be shredded, feel good, look great.
And he's a famous prankster who's become incredibly popular through very strategically taken thumbnails. And so somewhere within these thumbnails, you will find, hold on a minute, I just need to research these thumbnails a bit more. They really like going to the beach on this channel. Where was I? So somewhere along these thumbnails, you'll find his fitness content. He uploaded this workout video, and he also has 60-day transformation videos and a whole range of other fitness videos. And so indeed, he's launching this website, Vitaly Fit. And this is very common. You get a popular social media figure who gets into fitness. Now, it's great they get into fitness. Absolutely. I love to see people living a healthy lifestyle. In this case, how he achieved his physique is highly debatable, but what kind of irks me is how some of these people position themselves as fitness professionals, and they give generic fitness information to people, which in my opinion is not applicable and helpful. And so in a recent video, I critiqued Alpha M for not using range of motion and full range of motion in his exercises. Now, range of motion in itself can be debated as a concept, because range of motion is variable and it heavily depends on the equipment you use and also your specific goals. For example, if I'm performing a lateral raise with a dumbbell, that range of motion may be different to if I'm doing a lateral raise on a machine. It may also be different to if I'm doing a behind the back cable lateral raise, where there would be a greater range of motion, where I'm manipulating the strength curve by changing the equipment I'm using, so I feel tension at a different point of a lift. So I do want to make it clear with context that range of motion as a term, of course it can differ due to many factors. However, there's not much debate as to the fact that in this workout, it's just loads of partial half reps going on. And for these specific people in these specific examples and the exercises they're doing, it ain't good. Now, again, I understand this is kind of a lackadaisical, look at my carefree lifestyle entertainment video. I understand that, but millions of people are watching this. And as I said, if my eyeballs and my brain go catabolic, I think it's fair game to make videos on this type of thing.
But that's my machine.
It is it?
Yeah, I was using it before you.
Sure. You can wait till after I'm done.
No, I'm not gonna wait. You get up right now and I'm gonna do it.
No.
Why not? Why not?
Let me finish.
No, I don't want you to finish.
And importantly, by using a larger range of motion, the benefit is that you can recruit more motor units. Motor units contain bundles of muscle fibers. Your muscle fibers are where this intramuscular tension, they are the site of muscle hypertrophy. This is where your muscles grow larger. Sarcomeres in parallel. my favorite phrase. And then again, my boy Vince pushing completely ineffective supplements, in this case, naturally boosting your T levels. Naturally boosting your T levels is not what you need to focus on. It's completely insignificant for you, whether that's with your training or with these ineffective supplements. Your T is absolutely related to your muscle mass increase. However, that should not be the focus of your training or your supplementation. It is the work which is effective. It's the scientific protocols that underlie your muscle building. That would be your protein intake, your energy balance, and in your training, your progressive overload and your consistency and specificity. And that is what you need to focus on, not the hacks. And when it comes to T, if there are natural increases in your T levels, those are not significant in relation to its significant increases in muscle mass. When you look at your muscle building as a whole, when you take a step back from the process, you don't view it in such an acute way and you view it through a chronic lens. And this is why that many people, elite bodybuilders, fitness models, they take T from external sources, supraphysiological levels. And I don't recommend that. That was purely informational, but that is the case. So if you're someone that's looking to naturally boost your T because you think it's going to significantly add mass to you, that you're focusing on the wrong things. Please focus on the scientific principles of training, consistency over time, and your protein intake and energy balance. And so this was the latest episode of U Wot M8. I'm James Linker. This is the Shredded Sports Science. Thank you so much for everybody who watches. I will see you soon.